Good morning. Can I call you Molly?
You can.
Okay. And Molly, I know you testified a couple times, so you know, keep your voice up. And if you want me to slow down or you don't understand the question, just let me know.
Okay.
Okay. Can you tell the jury what you do for a living?
I'm an educator.
Okay. And where are you employed?
I'm employed at Oxford Community Schools. I've been there since the fall of '98.
So that would be your whole teaching career?
That's correct.
Okay. What is your role now?
My role now is I am a virtual teacher with Oxford Virtual Academy. I'm a mentor teacher for middle schoolers.
All right. So do you go to the high school now?
I do not, no.
All right. Can you tell the jury what your role was and which building you worked at on November 30th of 2021?
On November of 2021, I was the International Baccalaureate Coordinator for the Middle Years program, which was a 610 program, as well as the English Language Arts coach, which was a 612 position.
Okay, so you didn't have, did you have instructional contact with students, or was it more teachers?
No, I worked with teachers, predominantly the English Language Arts department, but I worked with many other teachers throughout the 612 curriculum. It was it's a coaching job, so instructional curriculum, that type of what's happening in the classroom at that point in time.
When was the last time you had a traditional teaching schedule?
A traditional teaching schedule. Might have been 2015. I'd have to really go back and look at my resume to know that.
Okay.
But in the fall of 2020, I did have a classroom. We went back face to face, and so we pulled all of our instructional coaches out to teach a few hours of the day so that we could spread students throughout the building and get students back instructionally.
Okay, so after COVID, the coaching faculty started to take more teaching assignments so that you could spread kids out.
Correct.
Do I have it right?
Correct.
Okay. In November of 2021, were there kids in the school that you knew, and if so, how did you have contact with them?
There were kids that I knew from the class that I had the previous year. There might have been, having been in the district for a long time, there were a lot of teachers who had children that were in that building. So I know a lot of them too.
Okay. I'm glad you brought that up. Does Oxford have a lot of faculty who send their children to the district?
Yeah, I would say many of our faculty send their students through Oxford schools, yes.
Okay. And the kids that you knew in that building that day, did you also know them from middle school or you just knew them?
Yeah, just knew them from knowing their parents, or if I had them in class the year before. There might have been a kid in passing that I met here or there, but for the most part on that year I had no contact with students other than, if a kid wanted to stop in and see me, or if we met in the hallway or... Okay.
But did you have a traditional classroom on...
I did not. I shared an office. It was like a half classroom.
So was the classroom turned into two offices or an office?
Correct. It was a classroom turned into two offices. It was in one of the instructional halls, the math science instructional hall. And I shared it with two other coaches in the district.
Okay. You're the first witness. So the jury's not seen a map of the school. So I'm going to put that up in a minute. Okay. It's already been admitted. There's no objection to that. But before I do, can you just generally describe how the school is laid out? It's a fairly new building, correct? It
is fairly new. The main part of the building was opened, I think, in the fall of '98, the year that I started with Oxford Schools. And then I think it was the fall of '04 that we started, that it became the high school. So it's a fairly new building. There is one main hallway that kind of runs up the center, and it hugs into the courtyard. It almost reminds me if you opened it in a map, you would see it almost mirrors itself in many ways, especially the area that I was in.
Okay, and your hallway were the hallways organized by subject matter?
Yes, we had like our foreign language hallway, our English language arts hallway, we had our math section, social studies, and then science wrapped around the side. Our electives were on the outskirts of the high school.
And how did the students and the faculty refer to bathrooms and exits? How did they describe them from one to the other?
It might have been like the exit by the staff parking lot. That's how I knew them.
Okay.
I know that there are numbers on all the doors. Numbers are not my thing.
So you're an English teacher. Where is this? Is there a senior
There is a
leisure
senior,
area
yes.
at Oxford?
Yes, so right up that main corridor, which is like, if you folded it, there's like this one main hallway. Right in the center of the building is considered the senior window, and that is right in front of our courtyard, one of our courtyards.
And the hallways go subject matter. Did you typically find upperclassmen, lowerclassmen, or it was all mixed in all throughout the building?
Well, many of the seniors did hang out in that area, or kids throughout the building. There was no area specific for like freshmen, sophomores, or seniors.
All right, I'm going to show you now and the jury what's been admitted and marked as People's Exhibit 9.
Can I get this to turn?
Yes, it should.
You would take 6 minutes.
Yep. Oh, okay.
That goes on last. It'll take a second.
Okay. Perfect.
See it?
Thank you. Yep.
Can you tell the jury what we're looking at?
This is a map of the high school, and so you see where it says media center in the middle, and then court right below it. When we were talking about that senior window,
Right there?
correct? So that senior window is just south of court. Like that's the senior window. That window that is on the south end of court. No, go back. Yeah, right on like the south end of court. Sorry, south.
Okay.
Maybe I'm directionally challenged.
I think
I'm sorry, I am.
everyone has
I'm going to
this.
want to go north.
Okay, so what,
I guess it would be east.
what was the number for your classroom?
My number is 222.
Okay, and we'll, right there?
Correct.
Okay. And then what's in the middle area right there to,
Actually, sorry, I'm not 222. I'm 224.
okay.
I was right next door to 222.
Do you see 224?
You can't see the number, but you can see between 226 and 222.
222.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's a bunch of names written in that. That was all the coaches, myself, and the other
And
coaches.
to the left of that, what is that area?
The other room on the other side.
That, can you go to that little, the mid-bridge? Yeah, down. What is this area? What's in there?
That area on the lower end is the science labs. On the upper end, there is I can see a bathroom to the right, a student bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
And
And the senior area is up,
it's up
in the
top.
middle?
Yep, it's right there.
okay.
Yep.
All right. So I want to draw your attention to around 12:50 on November 30th, 2021. Do you remember that day?
I do.
Okay. Did you have any kind of teaching assignment on that day?
I did not have a teaching assignment on that day. It was a Tuesday after Thanksgiving.
Okay. Can you tell the jury about the Oxford lunchtime schedule? Because it's a little confusing.
We run a 7-period rotating schedule, which means that kids meet for 6 class periods a day. The lunches have a split hour, so they have an A, B, and a C lunch. If they're A lunch, they go to their class the second half. If they're a B lunch, they go to class, have lunch, go back to class. And if there's a C lunch, they go to class, then they go to lunch.